Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment,
Good afternoon, Nigerians, and welcome again to your favorite program, Development Pillars. My name is still Olanrewaju, Osho, your host. The elders have a saying that cutting off the head is not the medicine for headache. It's not the solution for headache. Yes, the sickness is in the head, but there are underlying factors that cause the ache in the head. The security situation in Nigeria is like the ache in the head. How do we address it? Do we cut off the head? Of course, you hear of kinetic and, military solution. We have tried everything we could, and it looks as if the problem is festering in our hands. And just yesterday, the president had a very private meeting with the governors of the 36 states and the minister of FCT. And they said, maybe we need more security. So let's bring in state police. Of course, a lot of people have agitated for that. But a Nigerian who is passionate for peace in this country, an ICT consultant, a politician, an engineer by training, said no. There are underlying factors that we need to look at if we want to solve the problem of security in Nigeria in a robust way. So we are bringing him today on Development Pillars. His name is Engineer H.F. Dauda. Engineer, welcome to Development Pillars.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
You are one of those who believe that there are underlying factors that if we do not address them, it's like throwing money at the problem of security. We will not have great results. And you put down this in a very beautiful article. When I read it, I said, wow, I must bring Engineer Dauda on this program so that he can explain it for more Nigerians to hear.
Thank you.
You believe that there are underlying factors?
There are several factors that I think, from my limited perspective, is really what the reasons why our security keeps deteriorating.
Yeah.
There are several that I have mentioned. I started by looking at the Fulani, narrative.
Yeah, narrative.
Every time there is an incident, we're quick to say it is the Fulani herdsmen.
The stereotype looks to have come to stay.
Thank you. But when you look at the Fulani as a race, as a group, as a family within Nigeria, there are things that have been destroyed in their own livelihood that now makes them unable to cope. And so it drives their young people probably into crime. And what are those things? You look at what do they do as a family. They have adults, they have children, and they have women.
Yes.
Each one of them has a responsibility.
Yes.
The men are responsible for the trade in their own, cattle industry.
Okay.
The women are responsible for buying and selling of the products that comes from the cattle. And their young people are responsible for tending the cattle in the, in the environment.
Grazing them, yes.
So each one has a responsibility. Today, I am very concerned that Nigerians have developed a hate. When you see a Fulani boy tending to cattle around, you feel like, why is he here?
Yes.
That why is he here is our number one problem, because we don't want to accept it. I don't say we must, but we don't want to. And if we don't, then we have created a problem, because you can't drive somebody from doing something and expect them to just sit at home.
That's true.
So if you say they cannot come and tend to their cattle in the wild, we don't eat grass, we eat meat.
Yes.
So why are we so hard on them, going out to feed cattle on grass that nobody's using? So that is the aspect that drives the young people. Hopefully I'm wrong, but if I'm right, then that means that's why they're into crime.
Yeah, but some people feel that where your right ends is where my own starts. So that your cattle feed on grass does not mean that you could enter my farm.
Thank you. So there is always a conflict.
Yes.
The conflict is that when he overrides the boundaries that are expected, if the cattle rearer comes out and he runs into your farm, now you have created a problem. Now, how do we solve that problem?
That's why we're talking about ranching.
Thank you. And so if we ranch, fine, but ranching is not, something that a Fulani man can go into today.
Okay.
It's an impossible, because you're talking about resources that he doesn't have.
Doesn't have. So we have to take time to get ready for that.
So if we want to go into ranching, then we have to develop a system for them.
Okay.
And then put them in it so that they can now have no excuse to come out and do open grazing.
But in the meantime, our lack of development of the ranching infrastructure has created a problem. That's what we are trying to talk about.
Thank you. And so since we didn't develop the ranch system, and they are still out there, so what we are having now is a conflict that is unresolved.
Yes.
In the past, we were able to resolve this through the leadership that existed at that time.
Okay.
What is the leadership? The traditional, town leadership and the traditional Fulani leadership are always in communication. They are part and parcel of each other. The Fulani comes to town, he does his business as if he's a member of the town and goes. When something happens, he is going to be called, hey, this is what your guys have done to my farm. They will sit down and organize a resolution. And then there's payments, there are punishments, and then that is done. This is a component of the open grazing. Because
even though he's on the move, it belongs to a structured system where it could be called to order.
He could be called to order and say, here, this is where who is it? This is their village, this is their hamlet. They go there, everybody knows everybody. Here is what happened. Where? Where is the damage? So we resolve it within the system that existed in the past. Now, that system has been destroyed. The Fulani now doesn't have respect for the political system that we have, because he feels abandoned.
Abandoned, yes.
And then the traditional leadership have been removed from adjudicating anything.
Their power has been withered by political
It has been removed completely.
Evolution, yes.
Thank you. The emirs and the kings and the chiefs and the obas don't have any power over anything. So they can make a resolution that is quick. So if we want to continue a process that has been existed and we said we don't want to use it again, let's provide another one.
Okay.
We can't just say we don't care about you. If he's complaining about his damages and his losses, someone has to sit down and say, let's look at it, let's do this. But at the end of the day, it's not happening. So these are the minimum that I can look at in terms of the Fulani issue.
As far as that is concerned. So how do you feel we can solve that one?
That one has to be solved in two ways. One is that the traditional systems that existed in the past has to be empowered.
Which is what a lot of people are agitating for.
Thank you.
Our traditional rulers look like figureheads.
They are not doing, and it's not their fault, because they were not given, they've been denied to do. If they try, someone will go to court. Then they will ask him, why did you do this? So he's already at fault for trying to fix a problem. Okay. So let's give them the power to deal with these issues. Number two, let's help the Fulani, to gain that, resource that he needs to be able to begin to slowly migrate into ranching.
Into ranching. Okay.
If we want, it's not going to happen overnight. Not in our lifetime.
We just have to do it, because you see, everybody's crying now, no food, no food. Because the Fulani elders clash for so many years have been gradually turning Nigeria into a country that cannot feed itself.
Thank you.
We are not doing agriculture in a robust way before, but even this subsistence one that we are doing, this continuous clash on a daily basis, and then some people feel that the Fulani feel that he's the owner of everywhere, so he can enter anybody's farm and
he doesn't feel that way. But that's the perception is everything.
Yes.
He feels like, okay, there is no reason why, if I have done it for 100 years, that today you can tell me I can't do it. He has been going up and down this country for 100 years.
And he has not been educated robustly to say system has
and there is no
changed.
education for him to go into another business or another trade,
Okay.
or even go in. He's been the same.
Okay.
We are the ones who are changing. So he doesn't have the mentality that whether you like it or not. No, the Fulanis doesn't have that.
Okay, so number one, for us to be able to get to the root of our security problem, we have to address this issue that you have raised.
Absolutely.
Then
And then there is additional part of it where, now you people are using that to commit crimes. So we have to also look at that.
Like what happened in the
copycats. They will do something and say.
Like what happened in Ekiti, and the others were killed. And
so we also have to confront that and also make it minimize.
Like
our media is very, critical in this aspect.
That's why I mentioned the word stereotyping, calling a dog a bad name so that you can crucify.
So those are the things that we need to address. The other component of our security is that I looked at the Almajiri system.
Almajiri system, yes, we spoke about it.
The Almajiri system is a system that is supposed to train our young, children to be very well versed in the Quran and the Islamic lifestyle and become teachers and, useful tradesmen and business people when they grow up. But the system was defined in a way that it would work, not in today's, system. The Almajiri comes to town, he goes, he's delivered to a Malam. The Malam said, okay, fine. Where is he? Okay, let's find a mother for him. So within the town, he will have a godmother. And then he will be assigned to that godmother. This is like your son. Please help us feed him and let him have what he needs as a child. We will train him. You will feed him.
We'll continue from this. The point is very interesting. When I read it, I was amazed that so we were like this before.
Yes.
How did we lose it? But we're going on a short break. After the short break, we'll continue. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers at home, you have heard addressing our security issues from the root. We just have to address the Fulani, cattle herdsmen issue, and then we move to the Almajiri issue. Don't go anywhere. Just hold it down. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Development Pillars, and I'm sure you have been enjoying, the issue that we are raising, the addressing the root cause of the security problems, security challenges in Nigeria. Now, we have addressed the issue of the Fulanis. Of course, banditry, kidnapping, that's what was, allocated as the core area where Fulani people have contributed to the insecurity. But Alhaji Engineer H.F. Dauda was speaking about the Almajiri issue because a lot of people felt that it was from the Almajiri issue that we did not address robustly over the years. That's where the terrorism came from, from the Yusuf case in
Exactly.
So please, can you...
well, again, as I mentioned earlier, when the Almajiri is brought to town to learn, there are several things that happen. One is that he is assigned to a
mother, yes,
who would take care of him in terms of, feeding.
Yes.
So that he doesn't live as hungry.
So he has an adopted mother.
Thank you. And then two is that he is assigned also to a trade, a craftsman, an artisan, somebody who is doing something. You will see these caps we wear.
Yes.
They used to be the only ones who do it. There's many other things they did as part of their training while they are also learning the Quran.
So he has a career teacher.
He has a teacher,
yes,
that is teaching him how to make money.
How to make money.
And that also in today's Almajiri is missing because there are just so many of them.
Then the third element,
and the third element is that he is now compared to other Almajiris. Is he able to survive on his own? You can't bring a small child that can't even think of how to wash his body and make him into an Almajiri like we do today. He has to be able to at least take care of himself.
So there's an assessment.
There's an assessment.
And if he's not qualified, he's sent back.
He's sent back until he's, gains some more
enough.
age. Today there is no yardstick. The smallest child you see as Almajiri will make you cry because we just bring them out as soon as they can speak. And that's not how the system is supposed to be.
So what went wrong?
So what is going on is that we as a population, we as Nigerians, we as Muslims, we need to ask ourselves, is it the best we can do for our children? You have a responsibility as a parent. Is this the best you can do for your child? You send him out to another town and he knows nothing but brutal suffering, and you sit at home, and is that the best you can do? Because I think if we search our hearts, we know this is wrong.
So he's brought up in pain.
Thank you.
Lack of care.
Thank you.
But in the old order, he has a mother.
He has a mother.
He has a teacher.
Yes.
And then a malam that is teaching him Quran.
Thank you. And in the past, it's not a year-round adventure. You don't come to town and stay for when the rainy season falls.
It's not year-round?
No, it's not. When the rainy season falls, you go back home.
Wow.
Because your parents have a farm to
So you
to
join
do. So you go back and help out. That gives you time to regroup, even if it's a separation anxieties, whatever. Now you can go back. It's like a vacation. You go home, you help out. When the rains are over, then you come back out. In my, small neighborhood that I grew up, there is one malam that during the rainy season, there is not one student. They're all gone. They went back home. Today's system, they're year-round,
Permanently,
non-stop.
they're all over the place.
What are we doing?
And the guardian does not have enough resources to take care of them.
He can't.
So they are sent on the street begging.
In this today's, high cost of living, who is going to hold 10, 15, 20, 200 children?
So they are exposed to crime.
So they are exposed to the elements. So they are angry. They are angry. They see you driving nice cars. They see you eating good food. They see you sleeping in nice houses, and they are on the street. So they grow up with anger, and they say, someday. And that's what we created. That monster that will say, someday I will. What is he going to do?
What do we do to correct this?
We are not the only Muslims in the world. Why is Nigeria the only ones with Al-Majri?
That's a very wonderful question.
So we need to ask that. And we've elected leaders, so they need to speak to it. You can't pretend that you don't know it's existing.
It's existing.
The people that we put in these offices need to address it. The governors, the senators, the House of Reps, they need
local
to address
government chairman.
it. If you are going to keep them as it is, build a school. Let's make it, a respectable, educational system. But the system that is existing today will only create people that we don't know what they will do in the future.
So when we solve the Al-Majiri problem, as engineer H.F. Dauda has said, so we are cutting the supply route for criminal elements.
Criminality is like a devil's workshop. When you are idle and have nothing to do, and you can't find something to eat, you will, by whatever means possible, you will eat. So if there is no means for you to find it, you will do even extra legal things.
Yes, to make sure
to make sure that you can survive. You are not allow yourself to just die. Okay. And that's what we are saying. We are allowing the Al-Majiri to have no option whatsoever. And then at the end of the day, now we expect him to survive. How?
And there's an adage that when you chase a goat to the wall, it will turn back and bite you.
Thank you.
So they are turning back and biting the society.
So that's what they are doing.
Okay, we have looked at two of the root causes. Then you wanted to...
Well, I looked at also the
point.
media.
Yes.
I mentioned it earlier, but let's look at it.
Look at them holistically.
The media needs to also engage in solving the problem.
Okay.
They should not engage in adding, petrol to the fire.
Not just reporting.
Thank you.
Whether
They're not even reporting.
Whether it's true or not true, they just blast
They're
it
not
out.
reporting. They're just writing headlines. As soon as there is an incident, they write a headline. That's not, reporting. They need to go there, investigate. If there is no information, tell us there is no information. If we don't know who has committed the crime, tell us we don't know who has committed the crime. These are things that will bring the tension.
And if you misreported, correct it.
Correct it.
Yes.
This will bring the tension down. Where now people will begin to say, okay, the crime that is going is not necessarily so and so and so.
Yes.
But it's just a crime. And if it is a crime, let the police and the uniform services deal with it. And that's where we can now get something. Because everybody who hears Fulani, he will go and do it. Because he will not be accused. Yeah. So if you're not accused, what is your worry? You go scot-free. But the person that didn't do it is paying a price. Because everywhere he goes, he's being challenged or being, removed, or being forced, or confronted
Yes.
because of his race or his language or his ethnicity. That's wrong.
A criminal is a criminal. We should not label a crime on a particular tribe, so that other people will not hide under that to continue to do evil. So the media, we challenge you to please up your game and in reporting, correct reporting, and then we can be able to educate Nigerians more appropriately, and then deal with the issue of security issues in Nigeria. Engineer, you spoke about youth unemployment.
Yes.
Yes.
When you looked at it, also, our young people, let me go back to politicians and bring it in as a base. Our politicians have so far become the only group in Nigeria that have everything. And not politicians, but the elected ones amongst.
Yes, because that's what you are a politician. You are not.
But I'm not. But the elected ones have almost everything, while the poor and the youth have been systematically denied. So our young people do not have a job. The education system they are receiving, in many cases, is questionable, because when you sit down with them and query their intelligence, you will find that there is a lot
of gaps.
Yes. So you have a population of between 18 to 30 that is bigger than any other population. Millions
of youth.
And they are sitting, most of them, idle. And we keep telling them, find a job. How? How do you find a job? Now this is where it comes in. Our youth need something to do. But we have an incredible amount of money just hidden. They're in banks, they're in foreign banks, they're even in dollars, they are in soakaways, they are in storage spaces. We have an incredible amount of money hidden.
Not put into productive use.
No, when I lived in the US, I can go and buy everything I need on credit, because somebody took his money and gave it to the bank, and said you can give it out as a loan. So we are all borrowing from him, and then we are paying slowly. In Nigeria, when you have money, you just hide it. How am I going to benefit from your own money when it's hidden? So our youth have no resources to use. You can't tell them find a job when you're hiding billions in your house.
In your house. You're soaked away.
And then when the jobs that are available come out, we, the elected ones, now divide it to our own family.
All children.
So where is the poor going to get a job? Or if you do manage to have something, you have to buy it. CBN is selling jobs. NNPC is selling jobs. We know these things. Is a poor kid going to be able to go and buy it?
The other day, one small parastatal, somebody paid 1.5 million.
Thank you.
To earn salary of 80,000 per month.
80,000. So we have made the environment become unfriendly to the youth. So now what option does he have? And he has to eat. He has to find a place to sleep. He has to raise, if he is lucky, he has a family, he has to raise that family. You have denied him every means whatsoever. So the moment he gets an opportunity, even if it's extra legal, he will do it. And that's part of the crime that we are insecurity.
That's why kidnappers are growing every day.
Because they see easy money. You can go in the bush and collect 30 million. Why won't you do it? And our politicians are telling us, let's bring police. How is the police officer that you're going to bring is also hungry? He has not eaten a good square meal, 3 of them for 1 month.
So we have people who are denied basic rights, basic quality of life, and then
So this idea of our youth need to find a job, or we're going to train you to have a skill. Train me to do what?
To be a Okada rider.
And another thing, they bring this, what do you call it? The senators and the House of Reps, constituency projects. They bring all these projects. You know what they do? When they bring Keke Napep, they will say, 5 of you, here is 1. How are they going to deal with 1 Keke Napep with 5 people? And these are all politicians.
Our time is almost up. Engineer, thank you so much. We were able to address four of the issues on the ground. So maybe we'll come back and look at the other ones.
Inshallah.
But this issue that you raised last really touched me. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to politicians. Good leaders create opportunities for their people. Good leaders create opportunity for their people. We are begging Nigerian politicians, please create opportunities. Create opportunities for our youth. They want to work. They are not lazy. Many of them are looking for opportunities. They are hungry for opportunities. They want to prove that they are better than what the image you have formed about them in our minds. Give them opportunity. You know, do projects, give loans, give grants, make their life easy. And you will see Nigeria moving forward at a greater speed than we can never imagine. And this crime and criminality, insecurity problem will begin to go down gradually. The person who believes that he has something to live for will not go and be a kidnapper or a bandit. So please, let's make life, worth living for our people. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. We'll be back with development pillars next week. And please keep watching KAFTAN TV. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, engineer, for coming.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.